Good day and welcome back to another Dbz Dokkan battle video. In this video we are going to take a look at the latest update to one of the events, the Emperor's Intention. So this update came with part 2 of the worldwide 350 million download celebration, and it's just a couple new stages along with the Dokkan Awakening medals for Zarbon. So as you can see, we had a couple new stages added, 5, 6 and 7. Nothing really too important in 6 and 7, just a couple resources you can farm, but we got the Dokkan Awakening medals for Zarbon in stage 5. As you can see, there are a couple new missions added, mainly for completing the stages on Z Hard and Hard, and of course Dokkan Awakening Zarbon. Now of course you should have your 2 copies of Zarbon ready. Remember, you want to have 1 copy at 10 out of 10 and 1 copy at 5 out of 10 SA. Please, if you do need more assistance, my video about the first part of the event is in the comments section down below, so you can always take a look at that. In terms of Zarbon and Dodoria, they get a pretty cool awakening. Looks like they get a nice big buff to their passive, and of course they are space traveling warriors supports. Just remember that Zarbon and Dodoria will get a easy A at some point, so you just need to be ready and prepared for that, and that's why we have the 2 copies. They take 10 medals to awaken, so you're going to need to farm 20 medals so that you can awaken both copies, because you're going to need them for when they easy A. With that being said, obviously let's get down into the stage. Remember that there is a Terrifying Conquerors boost to the stage, 120% I currently have, and I'm using a fully free-to-play team for this. Obviously try and use as many LR and SSR cards as you can, because that boosts the rarity, and use the Oolong support memory if you need a further boost. You can also use your daily boosts as well, so that you can increase the drop rate from the stage. Now of course, that being said, let's get into the stages. So obviously the stages aren't too hard. Those of you who've done the first couple stages or the first part of the event with part 1 will know that these stages are not hard at all. If you are looking for a alternative free-to-play Terrifying Conquerors team, look no further than the Ginyu Force team that you can easily pick up during the Ginyu Force missions. You should be farming them anyway because you need them for the easy A area for the Ginyu Force. So there's kind of a double 2 birds with 1 stone scenario there. You can use them to farm the other free-to-play units, and of course you need them for the Ginyu Force easy A area themselves. So all in all, pretty damn good. Of course, that was the stage for the Dokkan Awakening medals for Zarbon. Just remember that we need to farm 20 of them, because we need to awaken 2 copies of him for his eventual easy A. The other 2 stages don't really drop anything too crazy, as you could see there. So realistically, it's nothing that matters too much. You can just complete them as best you can. There's no real need beyond the bonus stones, of course, and the missions. And you should always finish every stage on both difficulties. It's free stones, don't leave it on the table. I know sometimes people get like busy with something else, or they want to go link level, or they want to go Dokkan Awaken a whole bunch of other units. Just spend that half a day or those couple hours worth of stamina to just clear out those missions and grab those stones. The moment you do, you're going to pick up, from all of these events, if you did all of them, now you probably would pick up close to 18 stones, plus the bonuses from the mission, that's 21 stones. So try and make sure that you finish both difficulties. There's like probably half a multi sitting in these events for those people who just don't do both difficulties of the stages. But yeah, these stages are really not too hard. If you do need to pick up some extra awakening medals, or you need to pick up some training items or locations or anything like that, obviously these stages do provide those. There are better alternative means to finding some of these items, but for those players who are really struggling, you can always do these stages to pick some of them up. But with that being said, let's move on to the final stage. In terms of Dodoria and Zarbon, or Zarbon and Dodoria, I think they're a cool unit. I think combined forces units like this are cool. I think they're a bit better done than something like the exchange Krillin into Vegeta or the eventual Gohan and Krillin unit. And the reason why is because obviously they're both on Space Traveling Warriors, they're both on Terrifying Conquerors, they're on Planet Namek Saga, they could be on an eventual Frieza Force category. They, generally speaking, have better synergy with what you want to run them with. Like, they make them a Space Traveling Warriors support, so it's like, okay, yes, they're limited categories, but realistically they're only there for the Space Traveling Warriors category. So they provide some synergy specifically to a category, and I think that's a nice way for these combined forces units. Like the Goku Gohan unit is really great. Yes, it starts as a Pure Saiyan, which helps it, but the reason why it's so great is because it's a Goku's family support, and that makes it still viable to this day as a Goku's family support, which I think is obviously very, very important. If you look at other units, you look at units like the Trunks and Vegeta unit, they're Vegeta's family unit, great, but they don't see as much playtime because there's better units on the Vegeta's family team, and overall they just don't have any kind of niche functionality to them that makes them operate really well. So it's kind of a catch-22 situation where you have to choose between do I want to use this unit for a long time, or is it just something that kind of suits the theme? And I guess that's the struggle that they have when designing units, so it's not really a place for me to judge in and say whether they've done a good or a bad job. But I do like Dodoria and Zarbon more than I like the Krillin Vegeta, just because of the way they function. But that being said, that was obviously all of the stages, and we saw that we did the mission for the Z hard difficulty. In terms of the Terrifying Conquerors category, obviously you can use the Dodoria and Zarbon once you awaken them, or you could use them beforehand if you don't have a copy of them awakened. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, that's it for the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Until then, stay safe, and bye!